What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and to another video. My name is Karl Thomas and I'm a DJ based just outside of London. In today's video we're going to be talking about the things you need to consider when buying a piece of DJ hardware. So specifically a controller, CDJs or any kind of interface to DJ from. This video is largely going to be aimed at beginner DJs, perhaps venturing out and buying their first piece of DJing equipment, because I know how saturated the market is. There's a wide range of different manufacturers, there's a wide range of different products suiting all different pockets and budgets, and let's face it, online, on those online forums, they're great for advice, but as DJs, we're extremely passionate people, and as soon as a new DJ adds that message saying, what should I buy? You get all the people that love Denon going, you should buy Denon because this, and this. And then you get all the Pioneer people going, no, Denon is terrible. You need to buy Pioneer because of this. And then you have someone else coming in going, no, Numark is the way to go. And it's just quite a daunting kind of experience. So in this video, I want to try and get away from the whole Pioneer is the best because of this, Denon is the best because of this. I'm going to try and give you an unbiased viewpoint of the things that you should just consider in general when buying a piece of equipment. So get that pen and paper ready and let's get into it. So the first thing that you need to consider when picking a CDJ, mixer combo, controller, hardware device, whatever you decide to do, is look at the physical features that the system can offer. We're not talking about hot cues, we're not talking about sound color effects, loops, the fact that you can do 4-deck mixing and layer loads of decks up and all of that kind of stuff. Creativity, I'm not knocking it, it's a great thing, and you know, the creative elements of controllers and CDJs now is fantastic. I'm not knocking it in the slightest, but before you even consider that, you need to match the physical hardware capability to the application that you are going to be DJing at. What am I actually talking about here? Well, I'm talking about things like, how do you connect to an external sound system? How do you connect a microphone? Can you connect more than one microphone? Can you EQ the microphone? Can you connect booth monitors? If the system goes down in terms of working with a laptop, can you DJ with just a USB stick? Is it a standalone device? You need to ask yourself all of these questions and make a list of the actual physical connectivity that is going to suit your needs. Take, for example, this entry-level controller here. Ignore the manufacturer, but you can see here that the outputs are RCA only to the master. Now, RCA to a master is okay if the cables are traveling a short distance, or if you're connecting into another mixer. But for a professional application, you really need to be looking at XLR out, because RCA is a bit susceptible to noise interference if you've got really long RCA cables, and also XLR have a locking mechanism in place so that it makes it harder for the system to become disconnected if someone, say, trips over a speaker cable or something like that. If you notice as well on this entry-level unit that you cannot connect to a booth monitor. Now, again, okay for a house party, this is going to be okay in your bedroom, but if you are DJing a large event with speakers all around like a big marquee, or in a nightclub or in a bar, there's potentially going to be some audio delay. So a booth monitor and connection to a booth monitor is going to help you dramatically. The other thing to consider here is the microphone input. You only get one microphone input and you have a small little volume knob and not a lot else. Well, if, for example, you're DJing a wedding and you need a connection for a second microphone, perhaps used by an MC, then that's going to be really, really beneficial for you. The other thing as well, if you're DJing at a high-end event or at an event whereby you are really quite reliant on the music system not going down, whilst the reliability of these controllers is very good, it's always useful to have a backup option. So for example, on this entry-level device, you cannot connect a USB stick. It's not a standalone unit. You're reliant on the laptop and the controller working at all times. So for those reasons, it makes the entry-level controller perhaps not such an attractive option if you plan to DJ in bars, DJ in nightclubs, DJ at private events. You need a wider variety of options to suit those different events. However, if you plan on just DJing in your bedroom, or if you plan on DJing just at house parties or at sort of little events in and around the home, or just, as I say, as a bit of a hobby on a Saturday night when you're not going out, then this could be a perfect unit for you. In terms of the software side of things and the softer kind of features such as the creative elements, it's fantastic. It has absolutely everything that you need to get started. But for professional applications and for playing out, this is probably not going to be the one for you. And to be honest, manufacturer aside, all entry-level units around this price point offer kind of similar connectivity and similar physical features. Okay, so we've talked about physical features of the unit, the connectivity, all of that kind of stuff. The next thing to talk about is brand. I talk about this quite cautiously, and I'm not here to turn around and tell you that Pioneer is better than Denon, Denon is better than Pioneer, or all the rest of it. There's enough of that online. We're all quite passionate about brands, so I need to be careful about this. However, you need to decide on a brand that is going to match, number one, your style of DJing, but number two as well, where you want to go with your DJing journey. So let me give you an example. If you are a bedroom DJ at the moment, okay, and you aspire to play in a nightclub, in a festival, a bar, whatever it may be, but you do not want to take your own equipment to every single gig, then at this point in time, at the time of filming this video, Pioneer is going to be probably the safest option for you. Pioneer were extremely aggressive with their marketing tactics a few years ago, and every venue in 2020, especially here in the UK, still uses Pioneer equipment. So therefore, if you have Pioneer equipment at home, you analyze your tracks using Rekordbox, you get used to using Pioneer equipment. If you move into a club and you find that there are Pioneer CDJs in the DJ booth, it's likely that you're going to be able to sort of plug in your USB, plug in your laptop, whatever it may be, and get on with the equipment and use it and have a successful night. If, though, you have the flexibility, for example, you're doing only weddings, parties, you don't even want to DJ in nightclubs, or you are playing in nightclubs but you really don't mind taking your own equipment to every single gig, then quite frankly the world is your oyster. You can play on Pioneer, Denon, Hercules, whatever you want to do. That's completely down to you. I'm just saying for the ease of turning up, plugging in and playing at this moment in time, at the time of filming this video, Pioneer is really your only option. I mean, that is just the situation as it is at the moment. Who knows, 1-2 years down the line, the tables can completely turn and Denon might be in every single venue. So that is the only point I want to make on brand. The next thing to consider is the space you have available. I think this is something that is really overlooked. I learnt the hard way here because I used to have 2 CDJs and a mixer. The amount of room that took up, plus the flight cases for the whole setup, was massive. And to fit those in the back of a car when you're taking it to a gig is just a pain. You know, versus a controller, which is an all-in-one unit, it can probably fit under your arm in one flight case. It's a lot more portable. So do consider the space that you've got available and also the venues that you're typically going to be DJing at. Do also consider the software that you're going to be using with your device. So is it going to be Serato or Traktor, Rekordbox, Virtual DJ, Engine for Denon, for example? If you go down the Rekordbox route, it's a little bit like Apple in that you're pretty much locked into kind of the Pioneer world, whereas Serato or Traktor might give you a wider variety of options from different manufacturers when it comes to hardware. The final point to mention on this video is, of course, consider your budget. You need to be realistic, but at the same time, I'm a firm believer in buying the best that you can afford. By buying into the best device that you can afford, you will be future-proofing yourself. If you get something that's a little bit cheaper and you're saving yourself a bit of money, well, 6 months down the line, you're probably going to put that device on eBay and buy the next thing up. So try and buy the next thing up straight away if you can afford that. But at the same time, be realistic. If you are a bedroom DJ, you don't really know if you're going to stick at DJing, then there's no point in spending out £6,000 on a full CDJ 2000 Nexus setup, unless money is no object. So there we have it, guys. Those are my top tips on what to consider when buying a new piece of DJ hardware, controller or CDJ setup. Hope you found the video useful, and as ever, I would always recommend trying before buying if you possibly can. Please do consider hitting subscribe if you enjoy this type of thing, and I will see you in the next video.